Hello and welcome to this lesson on the L98A2 Cadet GP Rifle. The aim of this lesson is to teach you the characteristics and naming the parts of the Cadet GP Rifle. The reason why this is important is that you will be required to pass a weapon handling test before you can operate the weapon system. This is to ensure that you can effectively and safely operate the weapon system on exercise with blank ammunition or on the range with live ammunition. This is to ensure the safety of yourself and other participants. Before I start, I'll go through the 6 safe handling rules. A weapon must never be pointed at anyone in any circumstances. A weapon must always be handled so that it points in a direction that there is no danger if a round was to be accidentally fired. Whenever a weapon is picked up, which has not been under your direct supervision, it must be examined to make sure it is not loaded, i.e., normal safety precautions, or NSPs, must be carried out. Whenever a weapon is handed to somebody else, the recipient must first be shown that it is unloaded or clear. The recipient must also insist that they are shown that the weapon is unloaded. The muzzle of the weapon must never be rested against any part of the body. And a weapon must be in the unloaded state prior to travelling in a vehicle or during non-tactical moves on foot. Moving on to the characteristics. At this stage, I have to say that the rifle can only be fired from the right shoulder. The L98A2 Cadet GP 5.56mm rifle is a self-loading, magazine-fed weapon which is capable of firing single rounds, producing quick and accurate fire at short-range opportunity targets, accurate rapid fire at ranges up to 300 metres, accurate deliberate fire at longer ranges, and effective section fire at ranges up to 600 metres. However, with its self-loading capability and a 30-round magazine, a high standard of fire control and discipline is required to prevent wastage of ammunition. We'll now move on to naming the parts. We'll start with the left side of the rifle. At the very front, we have the muzzle, and attached to the muzzle, we have the flash eliminator. Moving rearwards, we have the barrel of the rifle, and covering the barrel, we have the green plastic handguard. On top of the handguard, we have a top cover. Inside the top cover are located the gas parts. On top of the rifle, we have the foresight. In the middle of the foresight is the foresight blade. Below the foresight is the front sling loop. This is used for attaching the sling when carrying the rifle. Moving rearwards again, on the bottom of the rifle, we have the pistol grip. The right hand is placed on the pistol grip. The left hand is placed on the handguard for normal operation or when firing the rifle. In front of the pistol grip, we have the trigger, and the trigger is protected by the trigger guard. Above the trigger, we have the safety catch. The safety catch protrudes out the left or right side of the rifle. When it is pushed through from the left with the thumb of the left hand, that is the safety catch set to safe. Moving back to the body of the rifle, and the body of the rifle is split into two horizontally. The lower part is what contains the trigger mechanism. This is known as the trigger mechanism housing, or TMH for short. In the middle of the TMH, we have the magazine housing. This is where the magazine of ammunition is placed when operating the weapon. Above the magazine housing is the magazine release catch, operated by the thumb of the left hand. The trigger mechanism housing can be removed from the rifle. To do this, there are two pins. There is a front TMH or trigger mechanism housing release pin, and there is a rear TMH or trigger mechanism housing release pin. The front TMH release pin and the rear TMH release pin. At the very rear of the rifle, we have the rubber butt. This is placed into the right shoulder. Also at the rear of the rifle, we have a second sling loop. This is the rear sling loop. Remember, the front sling loop and the rear sling loop. Also at the back of the rifle, we have this, which is known as the cheek piece. Below the cheek piece, we have a square metal button. This is the bolt release catch. Moving forward on top of the rifle, we finally have the carrying handle and back sight. Moving to the right side of the rifle. We'll start with a number of parts that both the left and right have in common. We have the flash eliminator and muzzle. We have the barrel of the rifle. We have the hand guard with top cover. We also have the foresight. We have the pistol grip. We have the trigger and trigger guard. We have the trigger mechanism housing with magazine housing. We also have the butt of the rifle and the carrying handle and back sight. Some of the variations. The safety catch. When pushed through with the index or trigger finger on the right hand, that is the safety catch set to fire. Also on the right side of the rifle, we have the cocking handle. The cocking handle is fixed to what we commonly know as the working parts. The bit we can see is the bolt carrier. We have the cocking handle fixed to the bolt carrier. To the rear of the bolt carrier, we have the dust cover. The dust cover in general operation stays up. However, when the rifle is cocked or during firing, the dust cover will be in the down position. And finally, on the right hand side, we have the holding open catch. This is directly opposite and linked to the bolt release catch, which was on the left hand side. Holding open catch, dust cover, cocking handle, safety catch, and you'll notice we have no front sling loop on the right side of the rifle. That concludes this short video lesson. In summary, we have revised the 6 safe handling rules. You have learnt the characteristics of the L98A2 Cadet GP 5.56mm rifle, and you have also learnt to name the parts, the left side and the right side, including commonality between both. Looking forward, you must remember that the rifle can only be operated and fired from the right shoulder. When you receive this lesson for real, you will have an opportunity to revise naming the parts. You will also learn how to conduct normal safety precautions, or NSPs, as well as learning how to fit the sling and how the rifle can be carried using the sling. Thank you for watching.